Hello everyone, today is the 10th of December and we are 15 days away to Christmas Day. But as you all know in the UK, Christmas has already started and it's really lasting for the whole month of December. So today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how to maneuver this time of the year if you're suffering from digestive issues. So for instance, if you've got IBS. This is the time of the year really where everything revolves around food and alcohol, and it can be more difficult, I suppose, to avoid certain triggers. With Christmas comes all the stresses as well, the pressure to go out, financial pressure as well. You eating on the go, you may be going out and not sleeping as well, and nutrition, stress, maybe less than optimum nutrition, stress and going out late, not getting enough sleep. All of these might lead to the perfect storm and you getting a flare in your symptoms really. So my first advice for you would be to plan ahead. If you plan ahead, you're more likely to stay well really and actually enjoy Christmas. So if I take very specific examples, so for instance, if you going out for dinner to a restaurant, make sure maybe try and have a say regarding the restaurant that you're going to, and pick a restaurant that you used to go to and that you know that there's a specific meal of food that you can enjoy and tolerate. If it's not possible, maybe call in advance and see if the restaurant can cater for your specific needs. It's very common nowadays for restaurants to do vegan, vegetarian food, gluten-free. Obviously, if you suffer from celiac, it's really, really important that you avoid gluten. Another event would be for you to be going out to a party, so visiting some friends and going to a party. So my advice to you would be to ask what's on the menu. So typically, Christmas buffet would be all the vol au vent, the sausage roll, the quiche, and all of these would be very difficult for most people to digest. They're fatty and they're full of sugar, and they would create some digestive discomfort for a lot of IBS sufferers. So maybe try and see if there's other alternatives such as smoked salmon. Well, it really depends on what you've noticed are your trigger foods. So it really depends. For some people, salmon wouldn't be a good alternative, but for some of you, maybe better. So salmon, prawn, eggs, rather than maybe all of the quiche and the carbohydrate based type of treats. Just ask for the main course, what is the main course and what's the dinner, and from that just adapt and maybe bring some food with you. If the buffet is not suited, just bring your own smoked salmon if this is something you can digest, or maybe bring your main course, or maybe ask if the host does a big salad, maybe, and the salad dressing is not suited to your needs, maybe ask her to leave the salad dressing on the side for you. Maybe if she does some mashed potato and you're dairy intolerant, ask her to leave a few potatoes on the side before she adds milk and butter to the potatoes. And you can work your way around this. Just try to make it as less stressful as possible and work around with what is on offer. So another big event would be, I guess, Christmas Day. So if you're hosting Christmas Day at home, that's probably the easiest option because you can obviously cook your own food and cater for your needs. If you go into your family, that can be a little bit trickier sometimes because there's emotion associated with food. So for instance, if you are refusing to eat your mom's famous Yorkshire pudding, or if you are not willing to have your grandma famous Christmas cake. So my advice to you would be to be upfront, discuss these things in advance, tell your family that you've been trying to make dietary changes to help with your symptoms, that it's been really helping, that you are getting less bloating and as a consequence less pain, less bloating, and as a consequence you're sleeping better and you've got more energy and you're probably a nicer person to be around. And these people like you, they're part of your family, so 9 times out of 10 they should really support you and try to make changes or try to accommodate your needs. If it's not the case, just stand your ground, just be assertive, not defensive, and still make sure that you stand your ground, basically. Another thing you could do is bring your own food, and or just ask if they're willing, just ask your mom maybe to do a wonderful Yorkshire pudding, but she might maybe provide her with a recipe, a gluten-free Yorkshire pudding, to make gluten-free Yorkshire pudding. However, I think it's really important that you also indulge a little bit and have a treat. The idea is also to focus on the food that you can have and not the food that you can't have. So for instance, if you are overindulging on something that may not be within your dietary requirement, just make sure it's worth it, and make sure it's something that you're really, really, really going to enjoy. And if you have chosen something and in the middle of it, it doesn't live up to the expectations, just stop eating it, and it's absolutely fine. And save yourself for something else that really means something to you. So it could be your grandma famous Yorkshire cake. And my advice for you would be to savor this little treat, to enjoy it and eat it mindfully. I mean, that eating mindfully and savoring food will make the food more digestible. And eating without guilt, you'll be surprised. You will kind of may help you to not get any symptoms, really. So eat in joy and not in guilt. Recovery tips if you've overdone it, or in between parties, in between events. So eat food that is easy. My advice to you would be to eat food that is easy to digest. So typically that would be soup. So maybe cook a batch and just have it in the freezer ready for these days. Stews, so well cooked food. And also stewed apple, really nice with a bit of cinnamon. And second advice would be to definitely have alcohol-free days. Another thing would be to stock up on natural remedies that have been helpful in the past. So particularly, so it will depend on all of you. So type of probiotics, peppermint oil, peppermint tea, chamomile tea, or just what works really well for some of my clients is warm water, a little bit of warm water if you've overdone it. Warm water is really soothing for the stomach. And another thing would be to schedule some walking time or some exercise. Exercise is really important can be really helpful for digestion and stress, obviously. So if you're a member of the gym, maybe schedule some workout in between Christmas and New Year, or just coming up to Christmas. Or even cheaper would be to schedule some time to go outside for a walk. Trust me, you won't regret it. It really works. So just go for fresh air in the forest, in the woods, or if you're lucky to be by the sea, go by the sea, and just schedule, just make a commitment to yourself, and maybe decide when. So every morning before work, or if you're lucky enough to have some time off, just maybe around 10 o'clock, I'll be going out for 30 minutes walk. Or every evening after work, I'll be going out and have a walk for 30 minutes, or maybe at lunchtime. Just commit and make a decision. That decision to do some exercise and schedule it in your diary. If you're getting a major flare, my advice for you would be to try and do what is called intermittent fasting. So for instance, eat at around 6 o'clock. Have something really light and easy to digest, again, a soup, and just try and extend your fast till the following morning at around 10-11 o'clock. Just give your digestion a rest. More than likely, if you're not feeling very well, you're not going to be really hungry, but it's really, really important to let your digestive system repair. So just start light dinner 6 o'clock and just don't consume any food. until let's say 10 o'clock the following day. It's really, really a useful exercise to do if you are getting a flare in your symptoms. I hope this has been really useful. Christmas is a lovely time of the year, so it's a time where you need to find balance, try and enjoy yourself, but don't overindulge and overdo it to the point where Christmas becomes a nightmare. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.